Baseball is a very weird sport, and we love it for that reason. And with it being such a weird sport, it creates fascinating statistical anomalies, like the one we're going to talk about today. A player who was nearly ousted from the game. After 3 bad years, he just barely received another contract, just to become one of the greatest hitters in baseball history for one summer. Matt Carpenter came up with the Cardinals at an interesting time. It was 2012. They were the defending World Series champions, but they had lost their prince. Albert Pujols walked in free agency. St. Louis had lost their face, and that offense needed a big boost. And luckily for them, Matt Carpenter was there to give it to them. And in just year number 2, Matt showed how special he was. He finished 4th in MVP voting for the National League, hitting 55 doubles, which led all of Major League Baseball that season. A batting average well over 300, an OPS at 140, and the versatility to play multiple spots in the infield, he was a star in the making. Through his first 5 seasons, Matt Carpenter put up a very impressive resume. 3 of those 5 seasons, Matt Carpenter got selected as an All-Star. After a second All-Star season in 2014, the Cardinals had saw enough and inked him for a 6-year, $52 million deal. In 2015, Carpenter added a big tool to his game, the long ball. Prior to 2015, 11 home runs was the career high for Matt Carpenter, but he clubbed 28 in 2015, beginning a 4-year stretch where he had hit 20+ in each season, all leading up to 2018 where he knocked 36 baseballs out of the park, an OPS just shy of 900. Everything was going great for Matt. He got on base a ton. His power was never better. His skill with the glove and versatility provided great value. He played first base, second base, third base, and the Cardinals agreed. They thought Matt's value was very high. They signed him to a 2-year, $39 million contract extension with a vesting option for 2022. And then came the year of 2019. That's when things begin to unravel. Once the ink dried, so did Matt's offensive numbers. 2019, the year the balls were juiced more than ever, Matt Carpenter's home run total went down by 21. It was by far his worst season as a professional, and things only would get worse from there. In 2020, Matt's batting average dipped to 186. The power almost completely gone. The Cardinals saw weakness. Just like in 2012 when they lost Pujols, they acquired Nolan Arenado from the Colorado Rockies to play third base across the diamond from Paul Goldschmidt, and with Tommy Edman, a surging young star who was filling in at the second base spot, there's really no position for Matt Carpenter left. He got utilized at a bench role in 2021, and he was even worse than in 2020. His OPS plus went down to 63, and that's the last we'd see him in St. Louis. They obviously declined the near $20 million option that they had for him, and Matt became a free agent. And the phones weren't too hot for Carpenter. It took until March 18th for a team to come and pick him up, the Texas Rangers giving him a minor league deal. And Carpenter looked pretty damn good in AAA. The power was back. He slugged .613 across 21 games. He looked good, but Texas let him go. They released him on the 19th of May, and 1 week later, the New York Yankees came in and swooped him up for $2 million. And as people in the business like to say, the rest was history. Truly one of the greatest offensive stretches that you will ever see. Mind you, it lasted just 47 games, but what a sweet 154 plate appearances it was. In that extremely small window of time, Carpenter hit 15 home runs, a slash line featuring a batting average over 300, on base over 400, and a slugging percentage well over 700. We're talking about a 216 OPS plus, which means he is double as good as the league average hitter. For comparison's sake, Matt's teammate in 2022, Aaron Judge, who won the MVP award, had a 210 OPS plus. So even though Matt Carpenter didn't have the same sample size as Aaron Judge, he was technically better when he was playing. And I also want to point out that Carpenter played some defense. He played at least 16 innings or more at right field, first base, left field, and third base. Pretty much all at least at a league average level. It might not have lasted long, but Matt Carpenter really was the best player in baseball for at least a good 2-month time. But it does beg the question, how did this resurgence happen? A guy who barely received another opportunity in MLB after 3 dreadful seasons. Well, you have to start with the foundation: strikeout percentage and walk percentage. Matt Carpenter was a lot more patient. He cut the strikeouts by about 7 to 9% from those past 3 seasons, and he kept a walk rate at 12.3. So on top of the increased discipline, Matt Carpenter made the most out of his swings. He tied his highest career barrel percentage at 13.7%. Primarily middle in, which is where he really made pitchers pay. You see the heat maps, and they are insane. It's a great testament of keeping your priorities straight at the plate. Know what you're looking for, and once you get it, hit it. And that's exactly what Matt Carpenter did. 15 times out of the park, all to right field or right center field. Matt Carpenter had always been more of a pull hitter, but in 2022, he was well over 50% of the time staying to right field. Towards the end of Carpenter's Cardinals career, he was having an extremely difficult time putting bat on the ball. In 2020, off-speed pitches and breaking balls resulted in a whiff rate of 45% and 47.7% respectively. He cut that down by 20% in 2022. So, by striking out less, fouling off more pitches, and getting deeper into the count, Carpenter saw a lot more fastballs, which he demolished. Matt Carpenter's 2022 was extremely special, and while there's no doubt in my mind that had he played 140 games, the numbers wouldn't be quite so gaudy, it's nonetheless fascinating to take a look at, because it's a great case of small sample bias. Matt did adjust his approach at the plate, but in just 47 games' time, the pitchers didn't have enough time to adjust to Matt. And I think that becomes very clear when you look at 2023. Carpenter now playing in San Diego. His 2022, while short, was good enough to net him a 2-year, $12 million deal. And what jumped out to me right away is Matt Carpenter saw a lot more outside pitches. Matt pulled the ball about 14% more in 2022 than he did in 2021. Pulling the ball is a lot more difficult when the pitch is going in the opposite direction. And as we see so often, when hitters begin to struggle, they start to push. Matt Carpenter's strikeout percentage was a good 6 to 7% higher in 2023, and that's a result of him chasing more often and also swinging and missing. The pitchers know what he wants to do. He wants low and inside so he can pull it to right field. So they work against his interest and he becomes far less effective. And this video comes at an interesting time. I had planned this for about a week, and the Padres are shipping off Matt to Atlanta, his 4th team in 4 seasons. And almost comically at this point, while editing the video, I checked my phone and he has since been released by the Atlanta Braves. So the jury's still out where Matt Carpenter's going to play in 2024. So let me know in the comment section below some of the greatest hot streaks that you've ever seen in baseball. Another one that comes to mind, Aristides Aquino for the Cincinnati Reds in 2019. There's a lot of them out there, and it's a great time just surfing Baseball Reference and finding them. Baseball is a numbers game, but that doesn't mean those numbers have to make any sense. Thank you guys for watching this one. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet, and I'll catch you on the next one.